Hello darlings, it's me Nova at gypsyohm.com, and I am talking today about what we got rid of and what is in our storage, what we kept. And this is the third video in our Stuff Week series. That still makes me giggle. Anyway, so what we got rid of. We started off in a 3-bedroom townhouse and we downsized into a 27-foot RV. From that 27-foot RV, we downsized into a minivan with a small storage. So we've done lots of processing and lots of paring down and lots of evaluation. And so that's some of the stuff I want to share with you right now. So what we got rid of. We got rid of every piece of furniture that we had. Some more sentimental pieces of furniture or items I passed down to family members, but we did get rid of all of our furniture. I knew that none of it was worth storing, because when you store stuff, what happens is every month when you're paying for your storage, if you store large items or whatnot, if you could end up paying more for the storage than the item is worth, and then you could have just replaced the item. For us, it was worth it to get rid of all of our furniture and just keep the things that we could not replace. So let's see what we got rid of. Okay, I think I kind of covered what we got rid of, and I'll talk more about that in a few minutes when I talk about what we kept. You can kind of imagine what we got rid of. What we kept in our RV was clothes and bathroom stuff and craft stuff and board games. But we took all of the boxes, we took everything out of boxes and put it in one big bag with little bags of like the little pieces and stuff. But we got rid of all the boxes so it'd be easier. Our DVDs, we got rid of all the cases and put them in a one of those, things with the little sheets that you stick them in the little slots. I'm so technical, right? I've got all the technical terms. What else did we keep? We kept a lot of our electronic stuff. We kept our TV and our Wii and our PlayStation 3 and, the controllers and stuff for that. And we kept, when we first got into our RV, we started off with cats, so we kept our cat climber. We kept our bedding, a lot of stuffed animals, things like that. So the kids have toys, lots of toys that they kept also. So that was basically what we kept in our RV. When we downsized from our RV into our van, we got rid of, we had a bunch of kitchen stuff too. We got rid of almost all of our kitchen stuff. Sorry. We kept like one plate, one bowl per person, one piece of silverware per person, that kind of thing, so that we could use those things in the van and not have to use paper for everything, or things that needed to be thrown away. So we kept that, but we got rid of just about everything else as far as kitchen stuff goes. Now, gosh, sorry, ocean flies are much stronger than other flies because they have to fight the wind. Anyway, so let's see what we kept in the storage. We kept sentimental items that we couldn't get rid of. Some sentimental things, like I had a giant tub full of like artwork and clothing and things like that that was my oldest daughter's. She was 12 when we hit the road. Hers was the biggest. My son was like 4 and my baby was like 1, almost 2. So we didn't have as much for them, but for my oldest I had a giant tub full of stuff. And what we did was I went through her stuff. Well, she went through it also and picked what stuff was most important to her. I went through and picked what stuff was most important to me. I took pictures of everything that was worth taking a picture of, because some of that stuff I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh. But anyway, we gave a big stack of stuff to my mom, so she could keep what she wanted to or not. Actually, I think it was more like a giant bag. And we took pictures, and I kept a small handful of my absolute favorite stuff. And that was worth it to me. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway, and that was worth it to me to keep that stuff and to get rid of the other stuff. We ended up downsizing 3 giant tubs full of keepsakes into one small box that was like a foot by 6 inches or something like that. It was pretty incredible. I kept like 1 outfit per baby, you know, and then like some paperwork that was important, scrapbook. And I got rid of the book itself, kept some of the scrapbook pages, things like that. And that's kind of what we did. Let's see. I did the same thing with pictures, kept a lot of stuff on my hard drive, and I kept a few, you know, actual physical copies of pictures. Gave a lot of them away to friends. Found new homes for some of them, you know. I said friends, but I meant to say family. I sold everything that I could on Craigslist or through garage sales. I donated anything that didn't sell. At one point I even hauled almost everything out of my garage out onto the lawn with a big giant sign that said free, because I just wanted people to take it. And there was still stuff people didn't take. That was craziness. That was the stuff we donated. Let's see. And then we've still continued to spend the last 3 years paring down items from you know, our stuff. Like it feels like it is a continual process, just like in any kind of life thing. The maintenance is just, you know, a continual thing. I really wanted to honor my kids wanting to keep their things, as much of their stuff as they wanted, and it was worth it for me to pay a little bit more for storage to hold on to items that they later decided that they didn't need. Because I am so crystal clear on what it is we are going to need and whatnot, doesn't mean that my kids are ready for that. And so I really wanted to honor them and allow them the space to release stuff as they were ready. My oldest daughter wanted to keep everything. She kept every stuffed animal. She kept every book. She kept everything. And then after a few months or a year or something, she's like, you know, this is really, like, I just don't need all this stuff. And she just went through and just got rid of, like, everything. It was stuff that I was going like, oh, but do you have to get rid of that book? Or, you know, whatever. I was more sentimental than she was. It was pretty cool. But yeah, so she was totally fine with just getting rid of everything. She realized that she really just used the things that she kept with her. But it was worth it to me to give her the space to do that herself, not force her to get rid of a bunch of stuff that she did love and she did, you know, wasn't ready to get rid of, because it didn't allow her to have that process on her own, which is, I think the process may be even more important than the stuff itself, because that's a life lesson, right? Like, that's something that the kids are going to be doing forever, is figuring out for themselves how comfortable they are with getting rid of stuff. Let's see. I'll talk more about the process of shedding stuff, because this video is getting a little bit long. But I do want to share some of the stuff we kept in storage real fast. Let's see. We kept, actually, I think, yeah. So we kept some clothes, some toys, a lot of the kids' toys, blankets that we swap out in the seasons that we need during the seasons, because we found that it wasn't worth it to replace them every year. Some sentimental items that could not be replaced, like sacred items that were passed down from my mom to me, were some of my biggest things that we kept. Some things that we knew we wouldn't be able to replace. I have this incredible fruit bowl that everybody in the world who sees it wants it, and actually that's how I got it. It was my mom's, and I wanted it, and she finally gave it to me, and so I kept that. And just some things that I knew I couldn't replace later, or maybe were too expensive to replace later, like my sewing machine and all of my sewing machines and my sewing notions and my fabric and all that stuff. I mean, that stuff alone, keeping that in the storage, paid for itself. And then we have other things in there also. So the storage is really small. We have some craft stuff. We have camping stuff. I can't remember what all's in it, because honestly we haven't used it in over a year. But when we go back there and we pare stuff down again, I know that everything that we have will fit in my van in one trip to our new house, because I just did that when we moved up here. Last year when we were coming up here, we got rid of everything that wouldn't fit in our van, and we came up here and dumped it in our storage. And then throughout this last year of traveling, we did have some stuff that we added to it but it's not much, so I'm assuming that, you know, it would all fit back in the van again to a house. So we don't have a lot of stuff. We don't pay a lot for our storage, but what we have in there is worth it. I hope this is useful. I can't really think of a lot of things that we kept in there, but it's just not a very big storage. And so if there's anything you can think of, you know, any questions that you have about what to get rid of, what to keep, feel free to ask in the comment section or contact me directly, and I would love to share with you. Have a blessed one. Mwah.